Right then, I'm working with the lighter of the two greens here. This is, I think, called Mistletoe in my pack. If you've got the original pack, you'll be looking at Sugar Snap, or whatever colours you're choosing, because you do tend to have absolutely beautiful colour palettes that I always love and wish I'd thought of. So we're round 8 here, and we're using the lighter green to build out these leaves that we've made. And we're going to join our yarn into one of the 5 chain spaces that we've made behind the petals. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to fold that petal forward, and I'm just going to access it that way. That petal is forward, it's in the right position, it's out of the way, it's perfectly fine to do that. We're going to join the yarn in and then go, if you read a little ahead in your pattern, you're going to make a double crochet straight after. That's UK terminology. So I'm going to do that little trick we've been doing, which is get rid of this little spare strand of yarn at the end. So I'm not going to lock in anything, I'm just going to leave it like nice and loose. And now I'm going to make my first double crochet. Okay, and that's it, we're locked in and we are ready to go. So I'm now going to make 4 chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that's going to bring me out from behind that petal and ready to start making my stitches into the 3 chain space we've made between those 2 treble 2 togethers on the previous round. And we're just going to do the same thing again here. We're going to make a treble 2 together, and that's UK terminology, and in the US that will be a double 2 together. Okay, and we worked on those in the last round, so if you're not too sure how to do those, just pop back and have a look at the previous video and you'll be able to see how you make that particular stitch. This time 2 chain between the next one, and this time we're adding a 3rd in, so we're doing another 2 chain in there and adding a 3rd treble 2 together. Okay, so if I just stop briefly there, you'll see how that little extra bit is going to sit really nicely between those petals. And all the work to sort of hop along to the next one is happening behind the petals, so that's really, really nice. Keeps the sort of structure out the way and the actual sort of pretty part in view. It's a really nice way to do it, isn't it? So 4 chain again, and then we go back to anchoring in that 5 chain space. So you'll notice that I've moved that petal down, folding it down so I can easily access that 5 chain space, and that's our repeat. That's all we're going to do all the way around. So accessing behind the leaf, or sorry, behind the petal, all you're doing is folding it forward, and it's as simple as that. Nothing more arduous than that. So that's all I really want to show you on this round. Right, we're on round 9 now, and what we're going to start doing on round 9 is using the blue to fill in the sort of the shape and turn it into the hexagonal shape that we will need to be able to join to the other motifs and complete our wrap. And the way we're going to do that is just by using various kind of size stitches to start to make straight edges. So let's just get into it. One thing to point out here, do pay attention because we're changing hook sizes on this round. We're going down to a 3.5mm hook here, so do pay attention to that. Right, so we're going to join our yarn into the tip of one of our lovely pink petals that we've made. And if you can think that far back, I can't, but if you could, you'd remember that we did 3 chain to skip us over the top of that petal and come down the other side. And that is where we're going to join our yarn. Now again, we're going to use that little method of pulling up a loop, which is not going to count as a stitch. So I'm leaving that strand loose so that I can remove it at the end. If you're not sure what I'm talking about there, you go back to sort of the early rounds 1 and 2, and you'll see what I mean by that. But I'm going to be removing that at the end. Okay, so off we go. We're going to make 3 double crochet, and that's UK terminology. So we're at the highest point, or the furthest, or the biggest point of the motif at the moment, which means we're using the smallest smaller stitches. What we need to do now is fill in this little gap here, so that's a big long stitch, and we're going to be putting UK double trebles in there, or US trebles in there. So that's twice around the hook. And where we're putting our hook is we're going to put it, if I just move this petal forward briefly, you will see behind the petal we've kind of got two chain spaces. That larger chain space is split into two with these two chain spaces, and we're going to put these two double trebles into the left one of those two chain spaces. Okay, so there's one, and you can see, if I let go of that, you can see how it's the right height to kind of to reach up to the edge of that petal in line with those stitches we've just made. And there's two, there's the second double treble. All right, so those are the tallest stitches we're going to use. We're now going to start working into these little chain spaces that we've made, and what we're going to put in those is we're going to put 3 trebles into each of those. So trebles, UK terminology, and that is doubles, US terminology. So lovely simple stitches that we are familiar with, just filling in the gaps to make those straight edges. So there's one lot, and we'll just make one chain to skip us over to the next chain space, and 3 in here as well. And this is lovely because we're just mirroring. We're mirroring what we've made. So we're now, if you consider that little chain space that we've just done, that is the center point of our side. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So this center point, this chain here that we've just made, that is the center point of a side. So once we've made that chain, we're just kind of mirroring what we've already made. So there's that. There's the 3 treble that we've made here, and we're now going to do our 2 double treble. And this time, if I move that petal forward, we're doing it into the right hand loop of that the chain behind the petal. So 2 double treble in there. And now we're back to putting our 3 little double crochet into the tip of that petal, and that is how we are creating a straight edge for this motif. We're pulling everything out and making it into a hexagon that we can use to join to other hexagons, and that's what you're going to do all the way around. So I won't continue that because you now know where to join and where to put each stitch. And the final round is really straightforward. You're just going to go round and fill it in with UK double crochets and some chains to make the corners. So I won't go around that. I won't go through that particular round either, as it's really straightforward. So those are all the rounds that you will need, and hopefully we've covered all the sort of twiddly bits and a few new tips and techniques for you perhaps. That's everything that you're going to need for Daylily. Now I'm going to move on to the other motifs, and if there's any little bits which haven't been covered, any techniques that haven't been covered in this one, we'll pick them up in the other motif videos.